So, what are some of the biggest inaccuracies and mistakes outed by this channel, and how have they impacted the perception of the content?
No, this is just an amateur channel. I have in no way had a real impact on the perception of the content of League. However, I did used to talk for about 30 minutes a video. I've cut that down nowadays to about 16 minutes, but that still leaves a lot of room to make mistakes. I've identified three key mistakes that I've made when it comes to league information. In the first couple of months, I've talked about building ability haste for caitlyn, primarily inspired by the German ability haste Andes that introduced me. But in caitlyn's case, ability haste is trumped by offensive stats and survivability because her primary source of power is from her basic attacks, not her abilities. Her abilities are used more for positioning, poke, and utility rather than raw damage. So the return on ability haste is less impactful. Meanwhile, attack damage, crit chance, and survivability are essential for increasing her sustained damage and ensuring she survives long enough to dish it out. Building caitlyn for offense and survivability will generally give you more results than focusing too much on ability haste. The second main mistake that I've made is pretty recent. I've talked about Mordekaiser and Warwick and how they should stay away from Spirit's Visage because Koenig was a better deal all around. This is wrong because Mordekaiser and Warwick are exceptions to the rule. They both have a lot of leech on them, and that means that Spirit Visage is actually much more appropriate as an all-around item and kind of a special fit for them. The third main mistake that I've made is when it comes to discussing the Blade of the Ruined King cult. It is entirely true that the Blade of the Ruined King cannot fix your problems, and that it is not a magical pill that will just resolve everything. And they throw all their money at it regardless of the situation that they are in. It is a mistake for a new player to do this. But I've gone too far in my criticism. I've not applied nuance the right way. While it is entirely true that Blade of the Ruined King is overused and cannot fix all of your problems, simultaneously, when used on the right champions, it can have an excellent effect, functioning as a third or a fourth item or just being a general farm shovel. It is all around useful, just do not take it to an extreme.
Focusing on the right balance of damage output and durability will make Caitlyn a more consistent and impactful champion. And that wraps up this episode of Amada's Personal League Files.